Also to understand when something looks enlarged on a scan or physically, it can be hurt, meaning it can be inflamed or
Yes.
injured. It doesn't need to be enlarged. So if I went to the gym and worked out today and built a muscle, it looked great. But today, if you took a stick and gave me a whack and I put on my coat,
Also enlarged.
it
yeah.
looked enlarged. It looked
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Very good
But
analogy. Yeah.
there's pathology is different. They're two different things. And that is what I think is wrong with the prostate. Because if you leave that inflammation going on and on and on for decades and decades, tissue dies, that same tissue becomes scar tissue, and that's when you actually get a physical enlargement of that accumulation of that fibrous, non-viable tissue.
And that's in the which part of the prostate?
Mainly in the glandular part.
So the muscle is still
Muscle remains, but
untouched.
it of course goes into a spasm, maybe gets dysfunctional because of the inflammation. But the glandular part is the one that then becomes so-called enlarged. And another thing, which is of course a misconception, is the prostate has to be of a certain size in everyone. Rubbish. It all depends on genetics, your sexual promiscuity or your sexual activity. Forget promiscuity, probably the wrong word, but how sexually active you are. So I have seen patients of a certain genetic background who have prostates 3 times the size of an average Malaysian. And they pee perfectly well.
Yeah,
they have no inflammation.
Yeah.
They are perfectly happy. And that other Malaysian patient of mine who has a prostate, 30% of that can't even pee. He goes into a retention and needs a catheter put in.
Yeah.
So that tells you that size doesn't correlate to problem.
Yeah.
And that's another misconception that, well, I don't know whether it's big pharma that has taught us this, because now we have drugs to shrink the prostate. So maybe there could be that bias. So if you're above a certain number, please start this pill because it'll bring the number down.
And that, I think that was to be fair to big pharma. That was already there before.
There you go.
Before these medications were around.